dear learners, welcome to this module. This module discusses about the contract farming in India, a growing trend in the agricultural sector. In this module, we'll discuss its definition, history in India, its advantages, challenges, and some successful examples. As we know that farming is an age-old practice on which millions of Indians dependent for their livelihood. However, there are few systems on which farmers are assured of a market for their produces. Farmers becomes compelled to discard their produce more often due to lack of buyers. On the other hand, agri-based and food industry always requires timely and adequate inputs of good quality agricultural produce. This inconsistency of the Indian agricultural scenario has given birth to the concept of contract farming, which promises to provide a proper linkage between the farm and the market. Thus, contract farming can be considered as the most suitable form of farm business organization in Indian agricultural scenario. Now, coming to the overview of contract farming. So, what is the definition of contract farming? Moving to the definition of contract farming. In the previous module, I have already mentioned the definition of a contract farming. So, what is a contract farming? It is basically a formal agreement made between a buyer and a group of farmers. The buyer may be an exporter or processing unit. The guidelines for manufacturing and selling agricultural products are outlined in this agreement. Typically, the buyers give the farmers various inputs including fertilizer, seeds, then technological know-how to carry the cultivation operation. So what happened? In exchange, the farmers commit to produce a certain amount and quality of the produce at a certain price to the buyers. There have been several forms of contract farming for a long time. One such form is sharecropping, which was considered as a feudal form of agriculture due to lack of development of markets. Now, how the growth of contract farming is accelerated. The rapid income growth, particularly in Asia, led to a shift from consumption pattern away from the staple grains and towards the high value food. High value food like meat, fish, milk, vegetable, fruit, and also processed food. In India also, there was a shift in dietary patterns, their dietary preferences away from the food grains to high value food commodities. The lower trade barriers and improved communication technology expand trade linkage connecting small farmers with high income consumer in industrialized countries. Thus, the growth in high value agriculture, supermarket, processing and export oriented agriculture influences suggest the growing of accelerate the growing importance of contract farming. Now come to the objective of contract farming. So what are the objective of contract farming? The main objective of contract farming are to produce and deliver quality of items at proper time. To work this line, what happened? They use an integration mechanism in line with the partners' decisions. Then next is to drive employees by providing incentives and penalties. Say for example, when the buyers require a specific actions from the farmer, as in say in the case of quality of a produce, the contract spell how much compensation the farmers will get. Then third one is to specify how financial risk is distributed. So say for example, the farmer can reduce the risk of losing money due to poor yield by negotiating a contract with such group who provides a component of remuneration which is not based on the actual yield. Okay, so thus in this farming system they can reduce the risk of losing money. Now coming to the history of contract farming and in context of India. What happened in India, contract farming has been a common practice for cultivating specific crops in the later part of the 18th century. It all began when the East India Company brought plantation crops like tea, coffee, tobacco, rubber, indigo and poppy farming. However, the entry of PepsiCo company was the first example where farmers were benefited in contract farming and the concept got recognition in the mainstream. In the year 2003, the Indian government gave the first time official recognition to contract farming and included it in the APMC Act 2003. The act was about making a specialized market where farmers are come and sell their produce. According to this act, what happens? The state were told to make specific infrastructure and set up APMCs region-wise. A farmer from a particular region will sell his product in the APMC of that particular region. This regulation was in invitation to competition-less market, which eventually is not good farmer as it created cartelization of the agent in APMC. Now come to the model of contract farming. Basically there are 5 models of contract farming. The first one is centralized model. So what happened in this model? The sponsor purchases crops from farmers and market the product. They purchase the crops and also market the product. Quality are strictly monitored and basically it is performed in annual crops like tobacco, sugarcane, banana, etc. Now come to the nucleus state model. So here the sponsor own and manage plantation nearly a processing unit. It is basically followed in dairy production and in tea growing state of India. Next one is multipartite model. Here a statutory and a private company collaborate with the farmers in a multipartite agreement. If we cite an example like this model, the Punjab Agro Industry Corporation is an example of this kind of multipartite model. Now come to the intermediary model. In this model, sponsor may lose control over output as well as quality and even in the price received by the farmers. Next is informal model. In informal model, the independent entrepreneur or the small scale business partner, small business can contract with farmers for some seasonal crops. Here the crops are mainly seasonal in nature. These are like fresh vegetable, seasonal fruit, etc. Now what are the advantages of contract farming? There are many advantages. Basically it makes small scale farming competitive. Small farmer can access technology, credit, then marketing channels and information while lowering transaction of the cost. The second is the farmers obtain an assured price. Here the price is assured. It is they can get the assured price for their product. They also get market outlet. I have already mentioned market outlet for their product. The farmers get healthy, disease-free nursery, agricultural implements and improved technology from the contracting company. Actually, the partnership company provides all the inputs, so they able to get all this kind of material like disease-free nursery, agricultural implement, and improved technology. Contract farming can open up new market which would otherwise be unavailable to small farmers. In case of agri-processing level, it ensures consistent supply of agricultural produce with quality at right time and at less cost. And there will be a crop monitoring on a regular basis. Technological advice will be provided free of cost at the doorstep of the farmer, and thus this will help the farmer to get assured output. However, there are certain challenges of contract farming. If we say like contract farming agreements are often criticized for being biased in favor of farms or large farmers while exploiting the poor bargaining power of small farmer. Actually, what happened? This exploit the bargaining power of the small farmers. Problem faced by the growers like undue quality cut-off on produce by farms, delayed deliveries at the facility, delayed payments, low price, and pest attack on contract crop, which raise the cost of production. Contracting agreements are often verbal or sometimes informal in nature. Though it is called as formal agreement, sometimes there is a case it may be verbal or informal in nature, and even written contracts often do not provide the legal protection in India that may be observed in other countries. So therefore, these are some advantages and challenges of contract farming. Now, what happened in Indian agriculture situation? To develop an agrarian economy that ascertain food and nutrition security to a population of over a billion, supply of raw materials for its expanding industrial growth, surpluses of export, and a fair and equitable rewarding systems for the farming community, commitment-driven contract farming is no doubt a viable alternative farming model which provides assured and reliable input service to the farmers and desired farm produce to the contracting farm. Few examples of successful cases of contract farming in India are the classic case of Pepsi Food Limited, Apache's integrated cotton cultivation, innovative model, Ugar Sugar's experience with barley, etc. These are some successful example of contract farming in India. So dear learner, this is in a nutshell about what is a contract farming and why it is important in Indian scenario.
India, our amazing country, depends a lot on farming. Millions of farmers work hard every day to grow food for all of us, but farming is tough. Farmers face lots of problems like unexpected weather changes and changing prices. Sometimes they can't even find people to buy their crops. This leads to wasted food and farmers losing money. At the same time, companies that make food need a steady supply of good ingredients. So how do we connect the farmers and the companies? That's where contract farming comes in. Contract farming is like a teamwork project between a company and a farmer. They make a deal. The company says, "We'll buy your crops at this price." The farmer says, "Okay, I'll grow these specific crops just the way you need them. This deal is good for everyone." The company gets the ingredients they need. The farmer knows exactly who will buy their crops and how much money they'll get. No more guessing games. Contract farming is not a new idea in India. It's been around for a long time in different ways. Remember learning about the East India Company in school? They used contracts to grow things like indigo and opium. These days, companies like PepsiCo use contract farming for potatoes and other things. This helps farmers a lot. They get better seeds, good fertilizers, and training on new farming ways. Gap 3S. Let's explore more about the benefits of contract farming. Contract farming can provide farmers with access to better technology and farming practices. This can lead to higher yields and better quality produce. Additionally, contract farming can help in reducing the risk for farmers by providing them with a guaranteed market for their produce. This can lead to a more stable income for farmers and can help in improving their overall standard of living. But that's not all. Contract farming can also foster innovation in the agricultural sector. With the backing of companies, farmers can experiment with new crops and farming techniques without the fear of losing their livelihood. This can lead to a more diverse and resilient agricultural landscape. Moreover, contract farming can create a ripple effect in rural economies. When farmers earn more, they spend more, boosting local businesses and services. This can lead to overall economic development in rural areas, creating jobs and improving infrastructure. In essence, contract farming is not just a win for the farmers, but for the entire community. Gap 3, S. Now, let's talk about some times when contract farming worked really well in India. Imagine Pepsi, the company that makes your favorite chips and drinks, working with potato farmers in Punjab. They teamed up and helped the farmers grow more potatoes and earn more money. That's a win-win. In another example, ITC, a big company, partnered with wheat farmers in Madhya Pradesh. They taught the farmers better ways to grow wheat, and guess what? The farmers made more money. These success stories show us that contract farming can really change things for the better in Indian agriculture. It can give our farmers the help and tools they need to be successful. Gap 3S. Okay, so what's next for contract farming in India? It has the potential to really change things for the better. Imagine if farming could help farmers earn more money and also help our country's economy grow. That's what contract farming can do if it's done right. Of course, we need to make sure farmers are treated fairly. It's like a partnership, right? Everyone should benefit. If we can create a system that's fair and supportive for our farmers, then contract farming can help Indian agriculture grow stronger and benefit everyone. Contract farming is great, but it can have some problems. Sometimes companies aren't fair to farmers or they don't pay on time. Farmers might also lose money if bugs attack their crops. To make contract farming work well, we need honesty and fairness. Clear deals, paying on time, and helping farmers when things go wrong are super important. If we do contract farming the right way, it can change farming in India for the better. It can help farmers grow more food and make sure everyone has enough to eat.
Dear learners, now you can check your progress by attempting the following questions.